Actually, birds have accents.
Oh.
Birds have they also have dialects. So a chickadee, let's say, well, we can't use chickadees because they're separate north and south, but song sparrow, a lot of work was done on song sparrows. A song sparrow in Virginia does not sound like a song sparrow in New York State or one in Florida. They have accents just like we do. It just depends on where they're from. Yellow birch, and smell where I scratch it. It should smell like wintergreen.
Oh, it certainly does. Right there.
Yellow birch, there are two of our, well, there's a small plant called wintergreen. Some people call it tea berry, like the tea berry gum. Some of you may remember that. All of our oil of wintergreen was taken from that little plant. It grows about this tall. Then they found that yellow birch and sweet birch, which used to be called black birch, I don't know if any of you know it by that name, have wintergreen in them. And you can get a lot more from, it's just under the bark, from birch trees than you can that little plant. So all of the oil of wintergreen for flavorings and scents and everything was taken from these trees, and until they made it synthetically. So you hear that bird? It's two birds. One is kind of, that's a red-breasted nuthatch, and this is a winter wren. So those two birds are two of the birds that do what's called vertical migration. It's pretty cool. They go down in the wintertime. They go to lower elevations, and then they come up here to breed, to lay their eggs and nest. So even though the glacial ice sheets did not come this far south, the climate was a lot colder. And so when the last ones receded, those species that were more adapted to cold temperatures stayed at the high elevations. That's a really neat thing. That's why we have so much diversity in such really a relatively small area. That's what the Smokies is known for, diversity. And so birds, amphibians, whatever it may be, they stayed at the high elevations, and those that were more adapted to warmer temperatures are at the mid to low elevations. So it's kind of cool. I have two salamanders in this bag.
Two of them.
I have them in the bag because that way not everybody touches them. It's less stressful for them. And they're both what are called dusky with a K salamanders. The darker one has to be an imitator without the orange cheeks. They don't all have orange cheeks. And the bright kind of orangey one is a pygmy salamander. The neat thing is, and I'll pass this so everybody can see, they're both about the same size. The pygmy, which is the orangey one, is an adult. The other one is not. It's a juvenile. See that? This is a really neat thing I'm going to show you, but since I saw it while we're here. See that little tiny thing that looks like an egg on my finger? It's a little foam packet. If, you know, there's a little fly called a dance fly. And the males carry this around. They kind of do this. It looks like they're dancing. And there are quite a few species of dance fly. And what they do is, in several species, they wrap up a food packet, like probably another little insect, for the female. And he gives her this to her, and while she's opening it and eating, they mate. But this one is empty. This species gives an empty promise. So this is Andrew's bald, but we're just at the very edge. These kinds of grassy balds in particular attract deer, rabbit, things like that. So that would be a good place to hunt. And there are two kinds of balds in the Smoky. Well, not just the Smokies, but there are two kinds of balds, grassy balds and heath balds. Heath balds consist of plants in the heath family, rhododendrons, laurels, galax, wintergreen. You know, there's all kinds of plants that are in that heath family. Sand myrtle's another one. And once they take over an area, stuff grows really tightly. It's hard to get anything else to grow in there. The soil becomes more acidic. So once they become a bald as a heath bald, it pretty much remains a heath bald. There are more azaleas down this way. So I will go down that way if people want to follow, or you can meander at your own pace, whatever you want to do. But there are definitely more as you go that way and that way. So, and there'll be some on your right as well. And they're really different shades. So look at the different shades. My name is Liz Domingue, and I'm a naturalist, and I live in Walland, Tennessee. and I do a lot of hikes. I'm a guide, and so I offer a lot of guided hikes and walks in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and I do a lot regionally. I also do trips around the United States. You can find out more information on my website. It's justgetoutdoors.com.